Good morning and welcome to Good Day LA. It's 8 o'clock on this Monday. I'm Jen Lawler.
Right, the first full week of 2026. Thanks for being with us. I'm Bob DeCastro. We do have a busy morning for you. Here's a look at some of the stories that we are covering this morning. Be extra careful on the roads out there. The stormy weekend left massive potholes all across our area. We'll show you some of the worst.
And a driver responsible for a deadly overnight crash is on the run. We're live in Long Beach with the investigation.
And the big story over the weekend, former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro making his first court appearance this morning. President Trump making new comments on his capture and what happens next. First, let's get to Maria with a look at your forecasts. Good morning.
Good morning to you, and what a difference from this past weekend. This weekend, we really did have quite a bit of rain again, especially on Saturday. Right now, we're looking at the satellite radar pictures, and it's much quieter. We have some very spotty, lingering moisture, mostly out towards South OC, offshore, maybe some of the foothill communities. Otherwise, we're really looking at improving conditions and a period of much drier weather coming for us as we get into the middle and latter part of this week. Currently, it is still on the chilly side. It's 41 in Victorville, 48 in Pasadena, 52 downtown LA, 54 in Santa Monica, but kind of a mix of sunshine and some clouds. So a really pretty start to our Monday. It's back to work, maybe back to school for a lot of the kids out there. Expect a high of about 42 up in the mountains eventually in Big Bear, 56 in the high desert to that 68 in Palm Springs. So staying on the cooler side, at least cooler than normal. 68 for downtown, or rather 62 for downtown LA. That's below the average of 68. 63 in the valleys and the Inland Empire with that 10% chance for some lingering showers, 62 at the coast. I'll show you that warming trend coming up in my complete forecast. But first, let's check in on that drive. As I mentioned, Stu, a lot of kids back to school today, back to work, and hopefully they're in school by now because this freeway looks pretty good. Where are you?
Hey, good morning, Maria. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I'm telling you know what? The 405 looking really good. I'm thinking, this is probably the first day a lot of people are getting back to work. This might be the first day of the year for a lot of folks out there this Monday. But take a look at that 405 drive. Usually you're on the brakes already right in this area. We can tell you that the Sepulveda Pass, it is going to be your general slow and go. But getting there is going to be a pretty good drive. Take a look at that. You're not really hitting the brakes till that is going to be just before Burbank Boulevard. So that 405 drive, I'm going to give it as a moderate good. Northbound, though, forget about it. Looks like a great drive. A lot of the roads are drier, but there's still possibilities of rain. Be careful out there. Get to where you need to be on time. Enjoy that first real Monday of the year. Sending it back to you all in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning, Stu. Thank you so much. Well, the holiday storms have left its mark on the streets of LA, creating huge potholes.
You know when you hit it, right? That feeling?
Oh, yeah. Not
horrible.
A good feeling.
Yeah, there's one, crater in the West Adams area that really damaged at least 15 cars overnight. Mario Ramirez is live there with more. Good morning. You can see it now in the light of day.
That's right. As we're starting to dry out today, those damaging potholes will be more visible. You can see one here behind me along La Brea between West Haven and Jefferson. And after days of rain across Southern California, this section of road, at least part of it gave way and drivers paid the price. Take a look. It was around 8 o'clock last night. A large pothole opened up, and within about 30 minutes, at least 15 vehicles were damaged. LAPD responded, quickly blocking off the street, trying to stop more cars from slamming into it before it could be coned off. Drivers tell us they hit it without warning, heard a sharp pop, and immediately pulled over, some with 2 flat tires.
Going down La Brea southbound, and didn't know I hit a pothole, and it bent to my rim. I think bent my lower control arm. You don't even know the extent of the damage, so I'm just trying to get this bent rim off and, put another tire on, see if I can get her back on the road.
Pulled into the gas station here, got out. I was about to change the front tire, got out the spare and everything, started jacking it up when I saw that the back tire was also popped.
Caltrans officials say many of these emergency fixes, like what we'll see here, start with a temporary patch before crews return with an asphalt mix that lasts a little longer. Meanwhile, auto repair shops say they're seeing a spike in blown tires and bent wheels, all connected to water-damaged roads from the recent storms. Drivers, meanwhile, can report a pothole by dialing 311. And back out here, the city says that their goal is to repair a pothole within the next business day after it's reported. For now, that's the latest here in West Adams. I'm Mario Ramirez. Back to you.
All right, Mario, thank you. So a deadly overnight crash in Long Beach has left 2 people dead and police looking for the driver who took off.
Our Gigi Graciette just spoke to a woman who witnessed the aftermath of this crash. She's live on Atlantic with her story. Gigi.
That's right. The scene here on Atlantic and 6th in Long Beach has now cleared, but this investigation just getting started as police look to find the man they say caused this crash and then left the scene without ever offering anyone help. Take a look. It was about 10:15. Again, the corner of 6th and Atlantic. This is where Long Beach police believe a man ran a red light, slamming into 2 other cars. One of those cars flipping completely over. 2 people were ejected, and unfortunately, they died here at the scene. And as you mentioned, we did speak to a woman who said she rushed out with an entire crowd. The entire neighborhood turned out to see what had happened.
It was a big boom. All you heard was scar, bow, bow, bow. And I was like, oh my God, that sounded like somebody got hurt. So when I came down, everybody was running from their house and gathering around. It was like 50 to 100 people out here. And one lady was trying to flip the young lady over. And the young lady looked like she was in her early 20s. And I kept saying, don't turn her over, just check her pulse and call 911. Nobody wanted to check her pulse. So I had to walk up there and I grabbed her right behind the ear, and I didn't feel a pulse.
And that young lady and another man again dying here at the scene. 3 others were injured, taken to the hospital. As for the man, police say he left behind a car that appears to have been reported stolen. Now the work starts for the detectives. Of course, if you have any information on the accident that happened here at 6th and Atlantic about 10:15 Sunday evening, please call the Long Beach Police Department. As for the identities of the victims, those will come from the medical examiner once their families are notified. Reporting live, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
That poor woman, so you can hear how traumatized she was in her voice. Gigi, thank you.
Thank you, Gigi. On to this story. President Donald Trump issued new comments after the arrest of former Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro.
Maduro and his wife are set for their first court appearance later on today. Ted Lindner has the latest.
Don't ask me who's in charge, because I'll give you an answer and it'll be very controversial.
What does that mean?
We're in charge.
President Donald Trump again saying the United States is in charge of Venezuela while on board Air Force One Sunday night. The commander-in-chief's comments follow Saturday's arrest of former Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife. Both are accused of various crimes, including narco-terrorism, with officials alleging they partnered with drug cartels to help cocaine enter the U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham applauding the Trump administration's efforts to combat the flow of drugs.
He's going to clear our backyard of a drug caliphate. Countries run by narco-terrorist dictators who murder, rape, send drugs into our country to kill thousands of our citizens.
This, as President Trump says, a main focus going forward is to rebuild Venezuela by advancing its oil infrastructure.
Venezuela right now is a dead country. We have to bring it back, and we're going to have big investments by the oil companies to bring back the infrastructure. And the oil companies are ready to go. They're going to invest money. We're not going to invest anything. We're going to just take care of the country.
It comes as mixed reactions keep pouring in following Maduro's arrest, with some Venezuelans here in the States remaining hopeful for the future.
We're also filled with some hope that things will get better and we can transition out of the dictatorship and into democracy again.
Protesters, meanwhile, have been gathering in front of the Brooklyn jail where Maduro is being held.
Not a penny, not a dollar.
Nicolas Maduro and his wife are expected to be arraigned Monday afternoon in Manhattan federal court. Ted Lindner, Fox News.
Meantime, jury selection begins today in the first criminal trial tied to the Uvalde school shooting response.
Sandra has a preview on what's sure to be a very emotional case. Sandra.
Yes, good morning. It's been nearly 4 years since a gunman opened fire on the campus at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, leading to one of the worst school shootings in American history. Former school police officer Adrian Gonzalez faces 29 felony counts of abandoning or endangering a child after 19 students and 2 teachers were shot and killed at that elementary school in 2022. He was one of the first officers to respond to the rampage and has pleaded not guilty. More than 400 members of law enforcement waited for more than an hour to confront and kill the shooter. Prosecutors allege Gonzalez failed to act and follow active shooter training despite knowing the location of the gunman. His defense team says he's being unfairly scapegoated for the killings. Families of the victims say the trial will force them to relive the darkest moments of their lives.
It's mixed emotions. I mean, we're prepared as best as we can. We know we're going to hear a lot of detail that we probably haven't heard before. Intimate things that happened and what they saw in the hallway, in the classroom. You know, I'm sure they're going to dive into it, right? They both have a job to do. The DA has a job and the defense has a job to do. And it's highly emotional. We're out here at a campsite right now, and miss her laughs, her smiles, sitting by the fire, you know, hanging out, telling stories. That's what I miss. You'll never get that back.
After jury selection, the trial is expected to last several weeks, and this is the first of 2 criminal trials connected to the shooting. The former Uvalde police chief has also been charged in this case, and his trial has not yet been scheduled. Jen and Bob.
All right, Sandra, thank you. 2 people tied to the foiled New Year's Eve bomb plot targeting Southern California businesses are expected to be arraigned in an LA federal court later today. Audrey Carroll and Zachary Page are being charged with federal terrorism-related charges for allegedly plotting to set off bombs at technology and logistics companies right here in Southern California. According to the indictment, Carroll, Page, and 2 others traveled to the Mojave Desert to build and test explosives that they had planned to use as part of the terror plot. The FBI arrested them at the scene before they could make the explosive devices. If convicted, Carroll and Page would face a maximum sentence of life in prison.
Nick Reiner is set to be arraigned this week in connection to the murders of his parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner. In December, he was charged with 2 counts of murder along with additional allegations. During his first court appearance, he was wearing shackles and a suicide prevention vest. Rob Reiner was a revered actor, director, and producer known for creating some of the most iconic films in American history. The arraignment is set to happen on Wednesday.
Lawmakers return to Washington today after the holiday break, and while Venezuela will be front and center, they'll also be working to avoid yet another government shutdown. They have a packed agenda on hand with a dozen bills needed to be passed in order to curb that shutdown. Democrats still want those tax credits restored to help Americans pay for health care plans. Republicans want to scrap Obamacare altogether. They want spending levels to stay where they are.
I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to start this week. And I think we can get it done by the end of the month. If we have to go an extra week or 2, again, pass another continuing resolution, we should do that and get these bills out of the way and then move on to the next fiscal year.
The next shutdown deadline hits on January the 30th. Okay, coming up on 8:13, coming up, remember when the so-called caught on tape Karen moments were all over social media? Well, now there is a new name in town.
So we're saying there's a new Karen in town? Uh-oh. And speaking of dirty laundry, we're going to dive into the debate over washing clothes that are brand new. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Can you guess what is the busiest day of the year for dating apps? We were just talking about something like this, right? Okay, so it's already behind us, unfortunately. The first Sunday of January has actually been the busiest day for dating apps in recent years. Sometimes sees a whopping 25% jump in activity that day. Why, you ask? Well, experts say people are trying to reset their relationship priorities and their goals for the new year.
I can see that.
Yeah.
You know, new year, new year.
New year, new boo.
New boo.
Yeah.
Let's get a fresh start, right? 2025
That's right.
wasn't necessarily successful. Go get them.
Right? For some people, it's out with the old, in with the new boo. Yeah.
Money may not buy happiness, but according to new studies, sure could help your relationship. New research suggests couples who can afford to spend money to save time report greater relationship satisfaction. We're talking about day-to-day things like ordering takeout or hiring a house cleaner or a dog walker. A Harvard behavioral scientist says these time-saving choices give people a stronger sense of control over their lives, boosting overall well-being. Researchers found busy dual-income couples were happier on days when they paid someone else to do their daily chores to do.
Except for then when it comes time to like go on a nice romantic vacation together or have a nice romantic dinner together and you're like, oh, we blew all of our money on, right?
Yeah. I think they're talking about people who have the disposable income.
The ways and
means. It doesn't really impact
I'm not saying not everybody budgets the right way.
Right.
Right?
True.
Yeah. I mean, I also think that maybe cooking together is a bonding experience.
Sure, you're cooking more.
Yeah,
but you do it on your own.
Cooking more. Keyword I. Okay, so maybe laundry is one of those things that we'd like to pay someone to do. But here's a question. Do you put new clothes in the wash before you wear them? Social media is debating that one. So Martha Stewart actually posted this online, that while it's not essential, as it once may have been, experts still recommend washing new clothes before wearing them to help get rid of chemicals and germs from the factory. But others call it a waste of time.
Well, you have to at least iron it.
It's like when you get like new cups or glasses or plates or whatever.
Yeah.
I always wash them.
But new clothes smell like new clothes. And I don't know if does that smell
Is that a chemical smell? Probably.
It kind of smells chemical.
Oh, yeah.
Because it feels like cardboard.
And will you actually get rid of that through washing? I don't know. Or is it like in the fabric?
Yeah. Put detergent and it'll smell clean. One of the internet's most familiar labels may be on its way out after years of so-called Karen moments going viral on social media. The term took off around 2018 as a shorthand for entitled or abusive behavior against service workers caught on camera. Over time, the meaning was used as a general insult against Gen X women who spoke up or set boundaries. According to recent social media discussions, the name for a Karen from the millennial generation now is Jessica.
Oh, ouch. I'm so sorry, all the Jessicas out there.
Instead of lashing out at workers, a Jessica would call out people on social media or write a strongly worded email instead.
Don't be a Jessica.
Don't be Jessica.
Do we know any Jessicas?
I know some Jessicas.
You do?
Yeah, I do, but we normally call her Jess.
Jess.
Yeah, Jess is her name.
You're a Jessica.
Jessica.
All the Karens are happy.
Oh,
I'm just happy it's not a Jennifer.
The poor actual Karens out there that have had to deal with over the past several years.
My cousin's name is Karen, and I always felt bad for her, yeah.
Like, at some point, if your name is actually Karen, you can't really speak up. Otherwise, they're like, you know, you're truly a Karen.
You know, I knew the original Karen. I didn't know her. I lived in the same building as her.
There was an original Karen
in New York. Yeah, remember the woman who was yelling at the man about the dog?
Oh, she was the original Karen?
She was known as a little Yahoo around the building, I'm going to be honest, because she would talk to you as if she would talk to your dog as if she were talking to you. Like, she wouldn't even address you. She would only talk to your dog.
Well, if she's still carrying on, we're going to have to call her the Jessica, right?
Yeah.
Such a Jessica.
You little Jessica.
Or the B word. Anyway. Hey, good morning. Let's talk about this because I have some great news. I mean, I missed it all because I was off for the holiday break, and man, we had a lot of rain. The good news is we're entering a drying period. We still have some lingering moisture out there. You can see some of the green stuff here on the map, so about a 10-20% chance for some showers. In fact, as we watch this area of low pressure, I think we're going to dodge it. This model is showing you how this low kind of sags south, and look at the edge of the rain just offshore as we get into tomorrow. But there is a small chance we could get some showers from it, 10–20%, and then that low will scoot out of here by late Wednesday and into Thursday. We're going to look for an area of high pressure that will give us that drying and warming trend as we get into the weekend. And in fact, the long range forecast I'm seeing through at least the middle part of the month, maybe even beyond, we're looking at some drier conditions for us. So we'll get a chance to dry out here over the next couple of weeks. That's the good news. Here's your day planner for Anaheim. We've got some clouds, a mix of sun and some clouds in the 50s mostly, still into the next hour, and then we'll get to those low 60s for the high. And again, that sunshine, that's trying to peek through the cloud cover this afternoon. Laguna Beach, a little overcast, but getting into the low 60s, and then Big Bear up into the mountains. Maybe some snow early this morning. Otherwise, we're warming up to the upper 30s later this afternoon. Riverside, clouds to start, and then we've got some sunshine, a few showers perhaps. There's that 10% chance for Riverside because of some lingering moisture. I'll show you the 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. In the meantime, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. Up next, a very scary moment caught on camera at a college football game.
I'm going to show you what happened to a skydiver who was parachuting into the stadium when we come back. Welcome back. So a paratrooper skydiving into a college football bowl game walks away from near disaster. He was trying to drop into Friday's Armed Services Bowl in Fort Worth, Texas. Look at this. As you can see, he became tangled up with a field goal netting behind the end zone goalpost. He was able to free himself and drop to the ground, luckily with no injuries.
A bluefin tuna struck gold in Japan with a huge price at auction. It was 535 pounds, and listen to this, it went for $3.2 million at a Tokyo fish market. A corporation that runs a popular sushi chain was the top bidder. The record-setting bluefin was caught off coastal waters in northern Japan. That region produces tuna that often nets more than $6,000 a pound.
Oh, huge.
Sushi's going to be super expensive.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Coming up, a strike deadline is fast approaching for the WNBA.
Also, how do you like an AI fitness coach? You knew that this was coming, right?
Why not?
January the 5th, first full week.
That's right, first full week of the new year.
Back to work.
I'm like
back to reality.
I literally was rolling into the newsroom.
Oh. Really?
You know what?
It's just been
Bob,
one of those.
Just don't worry about it until February, right? Just take January off.
Enjoy it. Listen, I gained
like
4 pounds.
When you gain that much, I don't even want to look at the scale. I don't want to even, because if you get on it and you're like,
I'm telling you.
Because you already know what it's going to say.
Why would the hotel put a scale in the hotel room? I swear, at the start of my vacation to the end, it was 4 pounds
That's like the menu having the calorie count next to it. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
I don't need to know.
Right.
Oh, well, but like you said, we'll worry about it later, okay? I hope you had a wonderful holiday. I know it was a soggy one here for sure. I kind of missed a lot of that action. I flew back in on Saturday. Did have some weather delays because of all of the weather across the country and here as well. But now it's a different story. Oh my gosh. We are looking at a drying trend. Drier weather is coming for us finally, right? Some chilly mornings still though, and some cool afternoons, but at least we'll get a little more sunshine. Today and tomorrow, we still have about a 10 to 20% chance for some showers, but I think the heavy stuff is behind us. And especially on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday into this coming weekend, it's going to be warmer and it will be dry. The first several days of this month, well, you know, I don't have to tell you, it was cold, it was, well, chilly, it was rainy. Every single day we had measurable rain. Even yesterday, over 1/3 of an inch of rain fell in downtown LA. We keep track of the water year starting October 1st to September 30th, and typically on average for the whole water year, we get 14.25 inches of rain. Do you know how much we've gotten since October 1st? Look at this, 14.11 inches of rain already. So our surplus is now at almost 10 inches above normal. So that just speaks to how much rain we have gotten so far since October 1st. Today we have a high surf advisory in effect. That's about the only alert, including beach hazard statement along our coast and shorelines because of some higher surf combined with some high tide today. So just stay out of the water. It's been raining so much. There's a lot of toxicity in the water right now, high bacterial levels. So you want to stay out at least until, I would say, Wednesday would be your best bet. Otherwise, 62 today for downtown, a mix of sunshine and some clouds. Our sunset time at 4:58. Here are the highs we're expecting today. 62 in Pasadena, still below average, but we'll get a little more sunshine. 63 in Corona, 42 in Big Bear, to that 63 in Woodland Hills, and 64 in Santa Ana. I'll show you the 7-day forecast coming up just a bit, but first let's check in on traffic. We do have Samada with a look at that and our freeways. Samada, I missed you too.
Oh, I missed you.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
2026, everybody. Unfortunately, we do have a brand new crash. We're going to take you out to the Rancho Cucamonga area, and this vehicle is overturned. It struck the center divider area, westbound side of the 210, right there at the 15. So just a heads up, that's going to delay you a little bit. And we've got word that parties are out of the vehicle, so there's people standing around. You want to be extra cautious as you're driving through that area. Here's a look at our real-time traffic. 41 minutes, not bad to start this week. Getting back to school, back to work, and the daily grind. So give yourself 23 minutes northbound 110 from the 405 inbound, and a screen grab. Still shot the 405 at the 22. Things are looking much better on the roads. Back to you two.
All right, thank you, Samada. So developing this morning, President Trump asserts that the U.S. is in charge of Venezuela while on board Air Force One last night.
His comments follow Saturday's arrest of former Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife. The two are expected to make their first federal court appearance in New York on drug trafficking charges. Pictures here of him being transported. However, the public will not be able to watch this live stream of the arraignment. Cameras are not allowed in federal courtrooms. It's not clear if Maduro has an attorney as of yet. They're expected to argue that he's immune from prosecution as he is a sovereign head of state. That argument may fail as the U.S. did not recognize Maduro as Venezuela's legitimate leader. The couple is accused of working with drug cartels to help flood the U.S. with thousands of tons of cocaine. They could face life in prison if convicted.
Delcy Rodriguez is now serving as Venezuela's new interim president. She has served as former President Nicolas Maduro's vice president since 2018. A high court ordered her to assume the role after Maduro and his wife were seized by U.S. Special Forces on Saturday. Rodriguez has been a previous proponent of the revolution begun by the late Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez. However, President Donald Trump says there will be in charge of Venezuela and its new order to help rebuild the country.
Now it's a dead country. We have to bring it back, and we're going to have big investments by the oil companies to bring back the infrastructure. And the oil companies are ready to go. They're going to invest money. We're not going to invest anything. We're going to just take care of the country.
The Trump administration is expected to brief members of Congress today about the weekend operation to capture Maduro. Some lawmakers have accused the administration of going to war without congressional approval. Again, we're keeping a close eye on this. I'm going to give you a live look outside the federal courthouse. This is in Lower Manhattan, where Maduro will make his first court appearance. That's expected to happen about a half hour from now. We will continue monitoring that story as it develops throughout the morning.
Meantime, strong emotions in Northridge last night at a vigil for 43-year-old Keith Porter. He was killed by an off-duty ICE agent on New Year's Eve. Authorities say that Porter was firing celebratory gunshots outside of his apartment when the agent confronted him. The agent claims Porter shot at him, prompting him to fire back.
Police lie, and it's disgusting the way in which they assassinate black life.
His only mistake was thinking that he was free enough to do it here. And to the people that think it was a stupid act, it's the same stupid act that many of us have done time and time again. New Year's Eve, celebratory.
This is not someone who was out to harm anyone.
The Department of Homeland Security tells Fox 11 the off-duty officer used his weapon to protect himself and others. Porter's family is calling for an independent investigation. He leaves behind 2 children.
80s movie star Mickey Rourke is asking the public for help as he faces possible eviction from his LA home. A GoFundMe launched yesterday with his approval, aiming to cover nearly $60,000 back in rent and prevent him from losing his housing. The $100,000 fundraiser that's raised over $55,000 so far states that the money would go towards immediate housing costs and give him stability during a difficult financial period. TMZ reports that he got a 3-day eviction notice on December the 18th after falling behind on rent for the property.
The status of the 2026 WNBA season could be in jeopardy now because of a possible strike. The deadline for a new collective bargaining agreement is this Friday, January 9th. The Players Union and the league are continuing to negotiate, but both sides remain far apart on key issues like revenue sharing and expenses. The most recent proposal would give players nearly 30% of gross revenue, as well as a significant salary cap. The league says this would result in $700 million in losses over the course of the agreement.
So you need help sticking with your New Year's resolutions? Now you can get a boost from artificial intelligence. A new crop of virtual fitness coaches are now on the job. Companies like Fitbit, Peloton, and Apple launched the services last year. The technology not only tracks your movements, it could create a custom workout based on your limitations. It can even motivate you when you're feeling low on energy. Many users say it saved them hundreds of dollars on personal trainers. But of course, some of this AI software still costs money.
The best part about AI, yelling at you for not doing the right thing during a workout, you can always, boop,
turn it off. Just walk away.
I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear it. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so a local cheer team is fundraising for their competition season after a breakout year.
Coco McAvoy's live in Glendora with more on the hard work that got them a chance at nationals. Coco.
Hey there, we're at the Reformation Refill in Glendora. This is a huge fundraiser going on right now to benefit the Glendora Tartans Junior Pee Wee Cheer Squad. They are amazing. I am here with Jen now, the head coach. So if you can tell us all about this fundraiser.
Yes, hi, I'm here with the Glendora Tartan cheerleaders. We're raising fees to cover for competitions. We are selling delicious hot cocoa, coffee provided by the Starbucks in Glendora, as well as fresh pastries made by not us. And we're out here just trying to raise money for all the kids to head over to competitions.
Because the competitions are so good for the girls, and they want to all be together to do them.
Yeah, so we really want to take the financial burden off all the family members. Each competition costs anywhere between $50 to $115 per girl to go. So we started this GoFundMe that you can find on our Instagram on Tartan Football and Cheer. You click the link, it shows our GoFundMe. We have donations already from Lotus Health and Wellness in Glendora, Liz Suarez, we love you, Donna Wood, Athena Kiara, Custom Collective, they also did our jerseys, Tracy Lopez at Active Fitness. We really appreciate everybody doing this for us.
Yeah, because it's so important to support these girls. Okay, I think we've got a big moment.
Oh, we would love to teach you a cheer. This is one of our crowd favorites. It is called Red Hot. Please come join us.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
The cheer.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, it starts off with we clap. It's a side clap.
Okay.
And then you start doing the motions, which is one hand, a little shake.
I love that. Okay.
We flip our hair.
Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right.
R-E-T spells red, A-T-spells hot.
He's all right.
Yes.
He smells hot.
What do you got? Red hot, red hot, red hot.
Woo! I love it.
Awesome.
Thanks, girls, for teaching me this cheer. Come and support the girls. They're an amazing team. They're so well accomplished as well. And they're super sweet and a lot of fun.
Aw.
So definitely come support their fundraiser. I'll send it back to you.
Get out there and support.
I'll work on that cheer, too.
You're
you
doing
got it,
just
you got
great.
it. My favorite part of that cheer
was the flipping of the hair. Neither one of us can do it now. Okay, so Amanda's off today, but we have got you covered with your entertainment headlines, sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. So part of the reason...
We got you covered.
But that's where we have you covered. Part of the reason Amanda's off today is because she covered the Critics' Choice Awards last night, and that does kick off Hollywood Awards season. Critics' Choice Awards last night. Sinners and Frankenstein tied with 4 wins each, including Best Supporting Actor for Jacob Elordi as the monster. But one battle after another. I watched most of this movie, except for the very last part. I need to watch it today. Took home the trophy for Best Picture. Timothée Chalamet won Best Actor for his starring role in Marty Supreme. And Jessie Buckley took home Best Actress for Hamnet. In TV awards, Netflix's Adolescence won 4 categories, the most of any series. Apple TV's The Studio and HBO's The Pit took home 3. As for the best drama series, that went, of course, to The Pit. Such a good series.
One of your faves.
That's right.
So Fox Sports analyst Tom Brady is having a little fun in a brand new Pizza Hut commercial. Look at this.
You know what I miss most about playing? Yelling, "Hut!" So I got this job. I got your Pizza Hut. Brady's back.
That's actually pretty good. That is amazing.
Yeah, that's really good.
Could you imagine him showing up to your house and going, "Hut?"
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Great.
The commercial starring the 7-time Super Bowl champion debuted yesterday, showing him delivering pizzas and shouting, "Hut!" Along the way, he even gets tackled by a grandma who he accuses of roughing the passer. There's no official word yet on whether it will air during the Super Bowl, but with the game about a month away, fans are speculating we could see more of this soon.
That's right. Okay, so last hour we asked you, have you given up on your New Year's resolutions yet? Be honest, and it's okay if you did. Here are the results so far. Okay, most of you didn't even make a resolution. Hey, you know what? You can't fail if you don't make one, I guess, right? Go to foxla.com/vote to let us know.
There's still time.
There is still time, of course.
Right.
There always is.
'Cause I'm waiting until February.
Yep,
like
that's right. Just got to get through January, right? So coming up, still looking for maybe some new hobbies to pick up in the new year. Brooke has got you covered. We're going to check in with her after the break.
Also, did you know your butt shape says a lot about your health?
Excuse me?
Well, researchers are uncovering clues in the glutes.
We're gonna check Bob's butt after the break. But first, let's go over to Samada.
Oh,
We'll be right. We'll be right. Baby got back.
Oh, okay. More on that. Good morning, everybody. How about this? More on traffic. Good Daily Traffic brought to you by Jacob and Ronnie. Call jacob.com. We're going to revisit this earlier collision in the Rancho Cucamonga area. If you're traveling along the westbound side of the 210 at the 15, it's going to be a little slow and go due to a vehicle overturned, blocking a lane. Hopefully, they'll clear that soon as tow trucks are en route to that collision. And we're going to help you out with your real-time traffic. 2026, it's Monday, getting back to work, back to school, and leaving downtown to get to the west side. Go ahead and give yourself 39 minutes. It's actually not bad at this hour. Northbound 110 from the 405. Heading inbound, just 20 minutes, and give yourself just under a half an hour. Westbound 60 from the 57, inbound to downtown LA. Please be extra careful out there. There's still some damp roads and potholes. Here's a look at some other traffic hotspots.
I looked up and just ran.
Maybe we need to seek somebody who does have the expertise to be able to guide us through the process.
If you're getting to an accident,
you're in good hands by dealing with Jacob and Ron.
Call Jacob.
Welcome back. Good Day LA wants to hook you up with 4 tickets to see Monster Energy AMA Supercross at Angel Stadium on January 24th. The journey to become SMX World Champion starts at Monster Energy AMA Supercross. Witness intense competition as the world's elite riders go head-to-head. Be part of the action at Angel Stadium January 10th and 24th. Nothing compares to seeing it live, of course. So enter for a chance to win on our website at foxlake.com/contest or link through the QR code on the screen. We will be selecting one winner tomorrow after 2 p.m. So be sure to answer your phone when we call. Good luck to all our viewers. Now, a look. So we're going to stand over to Stu with some breaking news. Stu.
Hey, we got a pursuit happening out here, and it's going to be in Beverly Hills, but it started in the Hollywood area, Wilshire Division, LAPD. You see him right there. He actually stopped at that stoplight. We're trying to make our way over there, get a better angle on it, but he's on Wilshire Boulevard. For the most part, making his way westbound. Very busy out here. He's been picking all the very, very busy streets right there. Eastbound on Wilshire. Hang on, coming up on San Vicente, so we should see him pop out here in just a moment. There they are. Look at that. So at any rate, LAPD, they're in the air, on the ground, but most important is this is a lot of busy streets out here, and there's been a lot of traffic. They backed down a couple of times, and you can see it right there, getting kind of behind some other vehicles. It is going to be a difficult pursuit for LAPD. They actually backed off a couple of times here, but they now have re-engaged this pursuit. That vehicle moving along at, I would say, normal speeds, but the traffic is really what I'm concerned about. I'm afraid this person is going to crash into somebody, maybe, and that, of course, the public safety is what everybody's worried about. Let me gather my thoughts, send it back to you for just a moment.
The driver losing control just a little bit over here. Call of a stolen car, LAPD in pursuit. We picked it up there in the Beverly Hills area. Obviously not the LAPD's jurisdiction, but they're following this through now on the westbound Wilshire, which will take it through into the Brentwood area. And there you see this driver driving around cars, doing something, some illegal actions here.
Some really, really tight spaces here at a really busy hour. So, yeah, and then running some red lights there. He was fishtailing not too long ago, so you wonder what the plan is here and where he plans to go. It's actually pretty rare that you see pursuits happen in this neighborhood, Stu.
You know what? I would say that fishtailing right there might have been actually on purpose. I think some of these moves, you know, a lot of these guys and gals that are in these stolen vehicles getting a little hip to what law enforcement is looking for. I don't want to get too much into the psychology of pursuits and car chases, but, you know, a lot of these guys and gals, they're starting to learn, like, oh, you know what? Let me drive against traffic. Let me start doing some really crazy stuff, and law enforcement will back off. That little swerve that we saw right there, it almost looked like that might have been almost intentional. They're saying stolen car, straight stolen, so I'm kind of wondering why they're continuing with this pursuit, but especially when it is so tight and so busy out here. Right now, though, this is going to be on Wilshire Boulevard. You can clearly see it. We're in the mid-city area, so the traffic is kind of thinning out, getting a little bit less than out here right now, but it's going to get thick again here in just a moment or two. They actually were trying to take advantage of some of that. Here we go, hard turn, making a turn here.
Big on the intersection.
Going to be heading out towards onto La Brea.
Onto La Brea.
So maybe we're headed back to where this whole thing started. But you know, they were actually going to try to take advantage of some of that traffic out here and try to get some spike strips involved. But this one right here against traffic, coming up on that solid red, busy intersection, very busy. LAPD, they've got their lights and sirens. They're going to make their way through there safely. But this pursuit of this Kia, this thing's still moving out here, pretty good clip. A lot of swerving, getting close to a lot of other other civilian vehicles. Thank goodness we have not seen any pedestrians out here.
Okay, so
he's stopping behind that vehicle, and
is on La Brea, going northbound on La Brea from the Wilshire area.
Right.
And obviously La Brea, a major thoroughfare there through the mid-city area, and then they'll be approaching 3rd, and then Melrose. Call of a stolen car, and it looks like despite being followed by these black and whites, the driver is not stopping. If anything, trying to evade police there, and driving still, even though only 42 miles per hour, still pretty dangerous there. Driving on the shoulder, driving in the bus lane, going through intersections, and weaving through cars here.
Well, you know, the 42, it kind of gives you an idea. Like right now, it's dropping down to 30s. But you see how fast he's moving by all these other vehicles and all those erratic moves out there. Hey, you know what? We were just talking about all those potholes. Wouldn't it be ironic if one of those potholes took this car out, maybe get him a flat tire? He is kind of using the far right and also the far left lanes. Right now, though, look at that. He's starting to speed up again. And like you said, 40 miles an hour doesn't sound that fast. But everybody else is going about 20, so he's doubling what's going on down there. Also, if somebody steps out or if there's something in that lane, he might be blocked in there, and that might cause that collision because he's got traffic on the other side of him. Right now, though, doesn't seem too concerned about what's going on around him. That does concern me. I'm sure that concerns law enforcement as well. That's kind of unusual. Oh, he's got a car in front of him trying to squeeze through there. Yep. Looks like that pickup truck either stalled or maybe just stopped because he heard the sirens. But it is definitely an unusual pursuit. When is we have a normal one? Right now, though, the real concern is going to be the traffic, is going to be civilians on the roadway. He seems to be staying out there, still technically in the mid-city area, but northbound on La Brea. We're going to be coming up to 3rd Street here pretty shortly. I venture to say we're going to start seeing some more heavy traffic once again. LAPD, they've got a difficult job to begin with this morning, even more difficult, trying to keep the public safe and to bring this person to justice.
All right,
so the initial call came in, Stu, as you said, for a stolen vehicle. We've seen this pursuit so far go from Beverly Hills to Mid-Wilshire, and now we're entering West Hollywood. On some congested streets, it looks a little bit more open right now, but we've seen this driver. Can you get a sense of, is it just the one driver in the car, or are there multiple people inside? Have you been able to see?
You know, those tinted windows make it difficult for law enforcement and Skybox. We will try to make an effort to get around there. When he was on Wilshire, the biggest concern was all those high buildings. We didn't want to lose him going behind a building and possibly making a turn, and we're going to miss it. Right now, La Brea, a little bit easier, but we'll try to get, I'll try to get Dylan to join in a little bit. Maybe we can get over to the front of the vehicle and take a look in through the windscreen, as it would be. Right now, though, clearly, we know that there is a driver. It's definitely not a Waymo. But at any rate, LAPD, their big task right now, keeping the public safe. And of course, when we start getting up in the north on La Brea, as we're getting closer to West Hollywood, look at all that traffic. Look at those red lights. That one was green. But LAPD, their difficult task right now, keeping the public safe, getting this car to stop. And we'll take a look and see if we can see somebody in that passenger side. But that doesn't mean that there isn't somebody in the back. But at any rate, keeping an eye on him. But again, we got as farther we go north, it's going to be more difficult because of those buildings.
Right, and a little cloud cover there, Stu. Right now, it's Sandra and Araxia at this hour watching this pursuit with you. Thankfully, he stopped right there for oncoming traffic, but you never know what this driver's going to do. Looking kind of erratic at times, and I'm surprised also there's not a lot of pedestrians, because in that area sometimes you do see some pedestrian traffic, but thankfully nobody is in harm's way in terms of pedestrians on the street, at least at this point.
You know, it's been light as far as pedestrian traffic. Thank goodness for that. And of course, welcome Sandra and Araxia. This chase is very erratic out here. LAPD, they're the only ones on it. It has made its way into the West Hollywood area. It's made its way into Beverly Hills. But when it is a pursuit, you know what? They don't have to ask permission to come into their area, meaning the West Hollywood jurisdiction or Beverly Hills. They are in pursuit. LAPD doing a stellar job down there. They've got officers on the ground ground, and of course they've got their amazing helicopter crews out there and keeping an eye on it and making all those calls. As far as that driver goes, taking a lot of chances down there. You just saw another one. It gets very close to a lot of these vehicles, but again, now we're back onto a very busy street, but it did start in the Hollywood area, and it stayed on these busy streets out here. Sunset Boulevard was his street of choice for quite some time as we were making our way over here, but when he started getting into the Beverly Hills area, made some turns, got to the south. Now we're back up on Hollywood Boulevard. So it definitely kind of seems to know this portion of the area, and we're going to wait till he pops out behind that tree. There he is. I always worry when we don't see that car. LAPD, though, they're keeping an eye on him from the air. Looks like they're backing off on the ground, hopefully. The idea is when they do that, the driver of the vehicle won't feel that pressure of being chased, doing those air quotes, because basically he's the one running. But that's the idea, is they want him to slow down a little bit and maybe start looking at the traffic. Their concern clearly is getting that person into custody, but also the number one deal is going to be public safety.
Yeah, of course. It's always dicey and tricky, and that is what they take into consideration when they do back off, to give that driver a sense of somewhat freedom, quote unquote, so that they don't do anything erratic. But it is getting busier down there, and for many people, it is back to work, back to school, so there's going to be a bit of congestion down there.
Definitely a lot of congestion. The traffic has been very, very tough, and this is the first time we're really getting a good, clean look into that driver's window, the windshield right there. Doesn't look like there's anybody in the front seat. Doesn't mean there isn't anybody in the back, but for the most part, I would venture to say it's just going to be that driver. For the most part, though, a lot of erratic turns, a lot of lucky moves out there. But, you know, you say the word luck, everybody always says your luck's going to run out at some point. Hopefully this guy's doesn't run out, and only because we don't want to see anybody get hurt. We don't want to see any bent metal that is... Oh, look at this. Look at that. A little bit of spike strip action. But, yeah, we heard him talking about it, but he saw that coming, sadly. Look at all the units that are involved. They all have to kind of make those U-turns and kind of gather back up. That helicopter, though, not ours, sadly to say, but the LAPD's, which is probably a better deal. They can talk to those guys on the ground directly. They are keeping an eye on it. They're making the calls. They're going to get those units back into that pursuit. Right now, though, getting underneath the 10 freeway. Oh, no, what are we doing? That's not him. Shucks. I got to find this guy. We'll figure this out right now.
And it's hard to watch.
He's on the 101.
Yeah, it's hard to watch. All of these units really surrounding that vehicle had the spike strip out. Obviously, the driver saw it and made that U-turn as we witnessed, but then kind of looking at these units being helpless, not pitting the guy, because obviously they're following protocol, and they have a lot of different rules they have to follow in terms of when they can pit a vehicle like that and when they have to kind of let it go by. But there were so many units right there, it's almost like, oh, you had him, and then now he's gone again. All right, if we have Stu, we're looking, at the 101, right?
Barham. So he's got to be somewhere right in here.
I feel like, did he come out of the overpass there?
Yeah, he made his way onto the 101. He made his way onto the 101, and apparently he's on Barham. I've got a couple of radios going right now. We're going to try to find him right now.
Yeah, as you continue to look and listen for that, Stu, we're looking at the live picture you're providing us from Skyfox, and you can see that traffic is a little lighter, which is great because we don't want to see a lot of innocent drivers out there being impacted by all of this. But of course, when we do see lighter traffic, that means it's easy to get away and kind of weave through all of that and free wide open lanes for a suspect like this to kind of make a getaway right there as we search for the vehicle still, that black stolen Kia that we've been over, which started in the Hollywood area, then went to West Hollywood. You saw a lot of police units try to throw out that spike strip and surround the vehicle, but then now the vehicle, the driver getting away here on the 101 as we try to look for that driver that's in pursuit.
Well, and the car is black, so it doesn't really help. It blends in with pretty much everything else. I'm actually quite surprised at how light traffic is on the freeway. It was busier on the street surfaces rather than the freeway itself, right? Pretty open, wide open. All right, well, we are going to let Stu try to get a hold of the situation there, see if he can spot the vehicle. In the meantime, though, welcome to Good Day LA. Right now, it is 9:03. And by the way, Happy New Year. I haven't had a chance to wish that to all of you. Thanks so much. I'm Roxy Carpadian.
And I'm Sandra. And let's take a look at today's headlines.
All right, so former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro will make his first court appearance this morning. This after U.S. forces captured him over the weekend. We have the very latest.
Plus, police are looking for a driver behind a deadly hit and run. What we're learning about the overnight crash.
Also, if you've been out there, you know, watch out for those potholes, how the wet and stormy weather has left a bunch of problems out on the roadways. First, though, a driver responsible for a deadly multi-car crash in Long Beach is on the run this morning.
Gigi Graciette is live on Atlantic Avenue with the latest from investigators. Gigi, what do we know?
Sandra and Roxy, the scene here on Atlantic and 6th has cleared, but detectives are hard at work trying to figure out who caused this accident and where is that person. Take a look at the videos about 10:15 last night. That's when police believe a man in a stolen car ran a red light here, slamming into two other cars, sending one flying. It landed upside down and ejected two people that were inside, sadly killing them both. 3 other people were injured, rushed to the hospital. We understand their injuries are not life-threatening. Now, we spoke to a witness. She heard the crash and along with dozens of other people came running out to see if they could help the victims.
It was a big boom. All you heard was skrr, bow, bow, bow. And I was like, oh my God, that sounded like somebody got hurt. So when I came down, everybody was running from their house and gathering around. It was like 50 to 100 people out here. And one lady was trying to flip the young lady over. And the young lady looked like she was in her early 20s. And I kept saying, don't turn her over. Just check her pulse and call 911. Nobody wanted to check her pulse. So I had to walk up there and I grabbed her right behind the ear. And I didn't feel a pulse.
And that woman, obviously and understandably distraught, having seen that. Again, 2 people are dead, a man and a woman. Their identities will come from the medical examiner once their families are notified. As for that suspect, we're told he left the car that was reportedly stolen behind and just took off on foot. We have reached out to the Long Beach Police Department for an update. Reporting live in Long Beach, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
Oh, so tragic. All right, Gigi, thank you. Now, LA street crews are trying to fill hundreds of potholes that developed during the holiday season storms. I should call 311. There's one on South Bundy and Pico that I had to avoid coming into work.
I avoided that one. I'll keep my eyes open, though. Yeah, more than a dozen cars unfortunately damaged by a giant pothole in the West Adams area last night. Let's go to Mario. That's where he is this morning. This always happens. Got to be careful right after a big rainstorm.
Yeah, exactly. And after several days of rain, this is a problem that's playing out across Southern California. And you all just mentioned a trouble spot there in West L.A. Well, take a look at this one here along La Brea between Jefferson and West Haven, a pothole that appears to have been patched up before, giving way to the rain and causing damage. Let's go to the video here. After the latest Southern California storm, this stretch of road turned into a nightmare for some drivers. Around 8 o'clock last night, this massive pothole reportedly formed, and by 8:30, at least 15 vehicles had blown tires or bent wheels after hitting it. LAPD officers moved in to block lanes, trying to prevent more damage before crews could cone it off. Some drivers say they heard a pop, pulled over, and realized multiple tires were gone, while other cars kept hitting the same spot.
Yeah, so I was just driving, some fence to the airport, and we heard this huge thump twice. And then as soon as I heard that, the warning lights in my car went off, and both of my tires on the passenger side just blew out completely.
The light just turned green, so I'm barely driving, so I'm probably driving 15 to 20 miles per hour, and boom, I felt it.
So
Drivers can report potholes through the My LA 311 app, online, or by calling 311. Now, as for reimbursement for damage like this, well, you'll have to file a formal claim with the city, county, or state, depending on the road, with photos, receipts, and detailed descriptions, although reimbursement is not guaranteed and claims are often denied. Now, back out here near this intersection, we also noticed several of these hubcap covers damaged, left here on the scene after that mess here along La Brea late last night. And I talked to a mechanic here who works out of his home down the street. He says he's repaired about 200 tires in the span of a week. For now, that's the latest here in West Adams. We'll send it back to you.
And that's a danger in and of itself when you have debris like that on the road. That can also cause problems and accidents for other drivers out there as well. All right, Mario, thank you. Appreciate you being out there. We want to turn here now and give you a live look at the federal courthouse in New York City, where former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife are set to make their first court appearance any moment now. The proceedings will likely kick off a long legal fight over whether Maduro can be tried in the U.S. on narco-terrorism charges.
Maduro's lawyers will argue he is immune from prosecution as a sovereign head of foreign state. Doug Luzader has the latest developments from Washington.
And Nicolas Maduro faces a slew of federal drug and gun charges, and congressional leaders are about to learn more about that daring extraction that brought him back here to the U.S. An astonishing overnight raid in Caracas. Former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro in custody and waking up this morning in a New York detention facility. And President Trump last night talking about what's next for Venezuela.
Don't ask me who's in charge, because I'll give you an answer and it'll be very controversial. What does that mean? We're in charge.
There have been celebrations in the wake of Maduro's ouster, even as Delcy Rodriguez, Maduro's vice president, has now been sworn in as the country's new leader. She offered a somewhat conciliatory statement on her Facebook page. We prioritize moving towards balanced and respectful international relations between the United States and Venezuela.
Did the U.S. give Delcy Rodriguez any guarantees in exchange for cooperating with your administration?
No, but she's cooperating.
The UN Security Council will hold an emergency meeting today over the developments. And on Capitol Hill, we expect a briefing for congressional leaders about the operation, with many Democrats angry they were not in the loop.
They went inside Venezuela, bombed civilian as well as military places, and it's a violation of the law to do what they did without getting the authorization of Congress.
And Maduro and his wife are set to make their first appearances today in a New York federal court. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
And as the future of Venezuela remains uncertain, Vice President Delcy Rodriguez has taken over as interim president. Venezuela's high court ordered her to assume the role after Maduro's capture. The role is temporary and expires after 180 days, but there is speculation that she will try to stay in power. Over the weekend, Rodriguez demanded the return of Maduro. Now she is shifting her tone, though, offering to collaborate with the Trump administration.
The capture of Maduro and his wife by U.S. military forces sparked protests around the country. Protesters here in downtown L.A. called the seizure illegal and demanded his return to the country. Members of California's congressional delegation had mixed reactions. Democratic Senator Adam Schiff said Maduro was an illegitimate leader, but removing him risked violating the U.S. Constitution and international law. Republican Congresswoman Kim Young said she did support the decision, saying that Maduro needs to be held accountable for his narco-terrorism charges. All right, 9:12 here. A lot more coming up on Good Day LA. First, though, we got to check on the roads out there. Traffic back to the grind, Maria.
Good morning to you. Back to work, definitely. Back to school as well for some kids. So traffic was a little busy earlier, but not so bad now. Good Day LA traffic brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group Accident and Injury Attorneys. Just some lingering moisture, as you can see here, showing up on the radar. But as we zoom in, there is one crash, actually two crashes that I want to tell you about. This is on the westbound 134. First accident, this is the middle lane blocked here just after the Brand exit, so it is causing a backup here. Also, just a little bit down the road, number 1 lane blocked just after San Fernando Road. So that 134 is busy just before the 5 freeway. Here are the drive times. It is really not bad considering at this hour. The westbound 10 freeway going towards Santa Monica between the 5 to the 4-5, just 28 minutes coming out of downtown. Northbound 110 between the 4-5 to the 10, just 19 minutes. And on that West 60 between the 57 to the 5, 23 minutes there. Here's a look at some of the other traffic hotspots.
This broadcast is locally sponsored by DT LA Law Group, Auto Accident and Injury Attorneys. Have an injury? Text Injury Help to 40222 or visit us online at calldowntown.com. Message and data rates and usage may apply.
And welcome back to you. I'm meteorologist Maria Quaban. This weather is brought to you by Pechanga Resort Casinos. We have just some lingering moisture here. As you can see, the bulk of the rain, the heavy stuff especially, we had quite a bit over the weekend, is now passed. So that's the good news. But the 10% chance will linger for some of those pop-up spotty sprinkles. Otherwise, we're really headed in the right direction, and we're going to start to dry things out. Right now, it's about 55 degrees in Burbank. Same for downtown LA. 58 in Santa Ana, 48 in San Bernardino, 36 in Big Bear to that 58 in Palm Springs. Here's the big picture. Lingering moisture, as I said, but for the most part, we are drying out. This area of low pressure I'm watching, I think this is, according to the models, going to skirt just around Southern California. Watch as it dives south. The leading edge of the bulk of the rain is going to stay, for the most part, offshore, maybe moving into parts of Baja and into San Diego. But I think it'll miss us, which is the good news, right? It's going to continue on to the desert southwest, and it looks like as soon as we get past Wednesday, Thursday, Friday into the weekend, high pressure will start to build, and we will get a warming trend, drying trend as we get to the upcoming weekend. Meantime, today, we do have more sunshine expected for the high desert, as well as the the Palm Springs area, low desert 68 degrees, a little on the cooler side today. 42 up to Big Bear with just some lingering moisture. 62 along our coastline. Same for downtown LA with a mix of some sunshine and some clouds. That 10% chance for some showers will continue. Otherwise, 63 degrees for the valleys and the IE with mostly sunny skies later this afternoon. We'll talk about the extended outlook in a few moments. In the meantime, I'll send it back to you two.
Maria, thank you. New year, new you, right? That's the idea. Well, instead of trying to completely reinvent yourself this year, why not just add to the list of things that make you happy?
That's right, like picking up a new hobby, perhaps. Brooke's joining us from El Segundo with some ideas, right, Brooke?
Hey there, yeah, outside, okay? And we're going to talk tennis now. I'm here with tennis extraordinaire Garrett Howard. How do you say hi in tennis? Do you ever?
You do one of those, yeah,
okay,
a little racket
right. How long have you been playing?
I've been playing tennis since I was 13, so over 20 years now. I'm still 21, but.
Okay,
yeah.
I love that. I'm actually aging like that too. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
But you know, one thing that I have learned since I've been trying to learn tennis is that it is a much harder workout than it looks like on TV.
Not
like
easy, right?
I'm like running around panting like a dog. Like, oh my goodness. So
You
why
can
do you
get it in, Brooke.
like
You can get it in.
it's a workout.
Yeah.
Why do you think people should learn tennis?
Oh, man. They say that tennis takes away 10 years, or adds 10 years to your life expectancy.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's a great workout, fitness. It's a mental exercise. You're always thinking about what you need to do on the court. And it's just a good community thing with your friends. It's a good way to hang out and just have a good time. So.
Should I try to show off some of my beginner
Yeah,
skills?
let's see what you got. We've been working for a couple months now.
Okay,
you know?
so a cool thing about this tennis is that there are free courts all around SoCal. Where you can, and so that's great, right?
Certainly, you can go Baldwin Hills, Jim Gilliam. That's my local park. I love Baldwin Hills. Shout out Baldwin Hills. There's so many parks you can go and just play with your friends, grab a couple balls, get some rackets, and just whack some balls around. So,
and so many options too to find like low-cost equipment, right?
You can go to your local tennis shop. You can demo a racket for $5, $10. Get some from Target, $20, $25.
Right.
So it's a really easy access to get into.
Easy access. Check out Facebook Marketplace. You never know who's getting rid of something. And you yourself, affordable tennis lessons.
Yeah.
I love that, even for kids, right?
For sure.
Yeah. Why is that important to you?
I was taught by my uncle the game at a young age, and I just think that having more people that look like me get involved in a sport like this is just amazing. It opens up so many opportunities, college scholarships possibly when you're older, and it's just a great way to connect. So. Get a lesson, get your nieces and nephews involved, everybody in the tennis. Such a good sport.
Okay, while we try to rally here, tell me about Tipsy.
So Tipsy Social Club's a organization I started over the summer in July 2025. The goal is to get people outside in community and just have a good time playing tennis. You can drink a little bit, socialize, and we do pop-up events. We do live ball events where it's a fast-paced doubles. And it's just a good time, really good time.
How can people find you? Okay,
Instagram, Garrett F. Howard on Instagram.
Okay, let's go. Let's show my skills.
All right, Brooke, let's see what you've been working on. Make the coach look good.
Okay.
Here we go. Remember our turn, right?
Yeah, sure. We'll see if I remember it well.
Boom! Look at that form. Let's go.
Okay, I'll send things back to you all in the studio before I hit him.
Look at that follow-through, Brooke. Wow. Looks good.
How long have I been taking lessons? Like,
it's been like 7, 8 months now.
Okay, that's longer than I thought. I was,
Still got it.
See, it's only been a month.
Look at her. Look at her. That's 3 in a row. Let's get 10. 4. Let's keep it going.
Good job.
Nice.
Oh, a little long. Here we go. Good stroke. Yeah, that's it.
He's a good coach, too.
Keep that left arm down. Good shot.
Wait, why are you guys still watching?
We're off.
Good.
We're off. You did great.
All right. So coming up, we've got your entertainment headlines after the break, including a strange twist to the WWE event happening tonight. It's so strange, it could take you to the upside down.
Also, don't forget about today's hookup. Good Day LA wants to hook you up for tickets to see Monster Energy AMA Supercross at Angel Stadium on January 24th. Enter for a chance to win on our website. That's at foxla.com/contest or link through the QR code on the screen. We'll be selecting one winner tomorrow after 2 p.m. So you have to be sure to answer your phone when we call. Good luck. 9:25, welcome back. We are back following this pursuit, which Stu Mundell and the Skyfox crew has been watching. This is a stolen Kia. All right, catch us up to speed, Stu. Where are we now and what's transpired in the last 25 minutes or so?
Has it been 25 minutes? Well, for a while there, Skyfox actually lost that vehicle, but we found it again. And LAPD, they backed off on the ground, but they did keep the helicopter in the air. We all found that vehicle once again, and he's been making his way through the Forest Lawn area. He's been on Barham, off of Barham, and then when he got into North Hollywood area, one of the units from North Hollywood got behind him, but they weren't in pursuit. That vehicle just kind of kept driving. We kind of were on Cahuenga for a little bit, and then just recently they have re-engaged the pursuit. That unit that you see right there, that black and white, basically said, hey, I'm going to try to pull this guy over. We're going to try to do a traffic stop. Well, not surprisingly, that car didn't stop, and now they're back in pursuit. The helicopter's still above it, same one that was there earlier, not us Skyfox, but LAPD, and they are making the calls for the guys on the ground and keeping an eye on it. Are they as aggressive this time? Well, maybe they're being a little bit lighter. I'm going to ask, well, we're going to see what's going to happen here. We're going to make our way into the Hollywood area. We know there's going to be a lot of traffic. We're on Highland right now as we're making our way south. You can see, like, right there, actually, this was the first time he actually stopped at a light. LAPD, they dropped off from behind it. You can see the helicopter still above it. I turned down the scanner. Maybe their bosses said, hey, we're not going to chase this guy. Just let's let them have the whoa,
oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Close call.
Yeah. See, and this is the thing. That guy in that car, just driving, going to wherever he needed to be, and that person thinking that he's trying to get away, just cut that guy off. That's what everybody's worried about. That's kind of the first chance we kind of get a look at that driver. I really can't get a feel on what's going on down there. So that driver, clearly a stolen vehicle. Don't know if this is maybe a homeless person and an opportunity to get to take a vehicle. Right now, this is going to be right in the by the Hollywood Bowl. That's the bus parking. If you've ever been here, you kind of know this area.
Very dangerous.
Looks like trying to rejoin. Trying to rejoin the traffic there off of Highland. Now, that type of driving, I don't know if that's, I don't know what the protocol is or what LAPD looks at and where they say, okay, yeah, we need to protect the public, or, you know what, it's better that we just stay away. But you can clearly see, not in pursuit. No black and whites behind it. Had one very, very close call, and then a little bit of erratic driving. Looks like we're going to be heading southbound on Highland, making our way over to Hollywood Boulevard. It's going to get traffic-y over there. Very traffic-y indeed. I'm going to coin that term. I don't think it's in the dictionary, but definitely going to be more traffic going on. It's going to get tighter. Hopefully there's no collisions. And then, of course, there's going to be a lot of pedestrians coming up as well as we make our way into the Hollywood area. Even after the rain, I venture to say we're going to see more people on the road. I just don't want to see anybody get hurt.
Well, it's also really tough to see because the windows are so tinted. We believe there's just a driver, but we don't really have confirmation on that, do we, Stu?
Well, we know there's nobody in the passenger seat. Looks like a bag of stuff in the passenger seat. Would venture to say if there is anybody in the car, might be in that back seat. This is going to be the first kind of shot that we get of the driver. Also, I'm not playing the PC game. Can't really make out if that's a guy or a girl.
Right.
I'm getting female vibe from that. Yeah. But again, we don't know the exact circumstances. We don't think this was a carjacking. We haven't heard any of that, and if it was, I'm sure LAPD would have a different version on what's going on, but they definitely are calling this a stolen vehicle. And again, don't know, maybe that's a relative, maybe it's a straight stolen, or maybe it was just a opportunity. That vehicle was left with the keys in it, and this person walked by and said, hey, I'm going to go for a drive, and got in. But we do know there's been a couple of close calls. LAPD's been trying to get this vehicle to stop while keeping, the public safe. But right now, driving a little bit more normal. And like I said, getting over here into the Hollywood area, we're going to start seeing more people on the road. Yeah, LAPD not on the ground behind it. That helicopter definitely going to be keeping an eye on it.
Stuck in traffic right there along the curbside. Almost looks like it's parked, but not. and then stuck in traffic at the light right there, no units, which would be an opportune time to try to talk to this driver, maybe make a move. You see the driver right there rifling through the bag on the passenger seat. It's unclear what that driver's trying to do.
I would venture to say I'm getting unhoused vibes from this person. Maybe that's their stuff, and might have got tossed around a little bit with the erratic driving. Looks like rearranging things. If they would have kept that in that front seat, I would have ventured as I was to say maybe we're looking at a bailout. But it almost looks like now they're moving the stuff into the back seat. So I'm not really sure what the plan is. No, I don't even think that driver knows what the plan is. But continuing on, we're going to stay on Highland, just pass through Hollywood Boulevard. And again, LAPD, they're in tracking mode. That means the helicopter going to make those calls. And definitely in the Hollywood area right now. LAPD, they might not be behind this person, but I could venture to say they are close by, maybe even paralleling. Looks like we're going to be doing another U-turn here. Seems to be a favorite of this person. And again, a lot of traffic, very busy road down there.
This is really interesting.
In and now making our trip.
Yes, Stu, didn't we start half an hour ago with this pursuit of a stolen vehicle starting in Hollywood? So we're back to kind of the beginning.
Yep. Definitely making our way back to that same area where it started. And again, if this is an see, this is what I'm talking about. This is just, yeah, that cyclist not happy. I'm not happy even watching it. I'm also not happy about these buildings that are going to be blocking us up here a little bit. Dylan making a move. We're not up here by ourselves, so it is a little bit difficult. I'm not sure if that's the car or it's somebody behind him. I'm going to double check right now. But, yeah, that's it. But definitely picking up a little bit of speed back onto Hollywood Boulevard. And you're right. This is where it started.
Yeah, back to where we started. All right, Stu, we're going to take a quick break as you continue to follow that vehicle that is wanted for being stolen that started about half an hour ago in the Hollywood area. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Deposed Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro made his first court appearance in New York City today, pleading not guilty to the charges he's facing in the United States.
Fox's Kaylee Schuyler joining us live outside the courthouse in New York. You can tell us what the latest is. The court session just ended, is that right?
Hi, Rexy and Sandra. So, yeah, it just ended, and it sure is rowdy here outside of the courthouse as Maduro and his wife Celia both pleaded not guilty. And something I think is interesting, notes from our producer in the courtroom say after Maduro pleaded not guilty, he stood up and said to the judge, "I am innocent. I am not guilty of anything that is written here. I am still president of my country." Now, right now, neither of them are looking for bail, and we know that the next court date is set for March 17th. But it was just early this morning that Maduro and his wife were transferred from a Brooklyn detention center where they're being held to the federal courthouse here in Lower Manhattan. They were heavily guarded, with the feds using helicopters and armored trucks to bring them to court. Maduro and his wife, along with their son and 3 other Venezuelan officials, are facing charges, including narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, and 2 weapons-related charges. They're accused of partnering with violent gangs and drug cartels to help flood the U.S. with thousands of tons of cocaine. And it was on Saturday President Trump announced the mission that led to Maduro and his wife's capture. This morning, FBI Director Kash Patel called the operation a victory in saving the lives of thousands of Americans.
Venezuela acted not only as a large and massive transshipment point by air and by sea, but also allowed drug traffickers to operate with reckless abandon inside their borders. And their direct target of deployment was the United States of America in large part. And that's what these charges, in my opinion, I believe will address.
Across the country, reactions have been mixed. I'm not sure if you guys can hear all the chanting and the yelling that's going on here behind the camera, but some people are praising President Trump. Actually, earlier, a woman just walked by past my camera. She was crying and said, "Thank you, Donald Trump." And there are also protesters out here right on the corner, just in front of the courthouse. Some are holding signs that say, "Hands off Venezuela," and others are saying, "Free President Maduro." In New York, Kaylee Schuyler, Fox 11 News.
It's a really complicated issue politically, obviously, with so many sides. And there you have it right in front of you, Kaylee, that some supporters and opponents both making their voices heard this morning.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's been interesting to see kind of the reaction out here. It's been very chaotic. I would actually kind of describe it. I was at the same courthouse when Sean Diddy Combs was under trial, and I would argue it's a little bit crazy out here than it was then. I mean, when I walked up, there were several people who were getting into arguments with NYPD, and just the mix of different opinions out here. There's kind of a chaotic feel that's going on here outside of the courthouse, but of course we'll see how this kind of plays out now that court's over.
All right, Kaylee, thank you so much for your live report and all those details. And as we learn more about the surprise raid and capturing of Maduro, military analysts are praising U.S. armed forces for how they pulled it off. But now concerns shift to the potential for long-term presence of U.S. troops in the South American country. Venezuela now faces instability, economic collapse, and internal division. President Trump suggested there would be a second wave of military action if any resistance is shown. One retired U.S. Army major says a major long-term boots on the ground mission to run Venezuela would be complicated.
The military can't do regime change. We've seen that in Iraq. We're not successful at it. But I do think you'll see the military as security forces with some of the petroleum and the oil refineries that the United States continues to looks to kind of take over and make sure that things are going and operating well.
Again, no troops are on the ground right now. However, about 15,000 U.S. troops and dozens of warships are stationed in the surrounding region.
Happening today, the trial for former school police officer Adrian Gonzalez gets underway. He faces 29 felony counts of abandoning or endangering a child after 19 students and 2 teachers were shot and killed at Robb Elementary School in 2022. He is the first police officer in Texas to be prosecuted under this statute for allegedly failing to take action during an active shooter situation. More than 400 members of law enforcement waited over an hour to confront and kill the gunman. The trial is expected to reveal additional details about Gonzalez's actions and whether prosecutors can prove that his decisions crossed the line from failure into criminal conduct. If convicted, Gonzalez could face between 6 months and 2 years in prison. He has pleaded not guilty.
Later this week, Nick Reiner is due back in court to enter a plea to charges of killing his parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner. Reiner's arraignment is scheduled Wednesday, and the charges could result in the death penalty or life in state prison without the possibility of parole. Reiner is accused of fatally stabbing his parents in their Brentwood home December 14th. TMZ reporting he had been diagnosed with schizophrenia, and the medicine he was taking was making him dangerous. Doctors apparently changed his medication several weeks before the murder, but Reiner reportedly became even more erratic.
This morning, a man is in custody for breaking windows and more at Vice President J.D. Vance's Cincinnati home this morning. That suspect, 26-year-old William DeFore, was detained by the U.S. Secret Service for causing property damage. He was then turned over to Cincinnati police. The vice president and his family, though, they were in Ohio over the weekend, and they returned to Washington, D.C. before the incident this morning. Charges are pending review by the U.S. Attorney's Office, and investigators are looking into whether Vance and his family were targeted.
This week marks 1 year since the deadly and destructive wildfires in Altadena and Pacific Palisades. The Eaton and Palisades fires started January 7th last year. Together, the fires killed at least 28 people and destroyed more than 16,000 structures. Families and thousands of them were displaced. And the Eaton Fire Survivors Network will observe the day by looking at the recovery efforts and by calling on SoCal Edison to speed up urgent housing relief to keep displaced families sheltered until they rebuild. The Pacific Palisades Long-Term Recovery Group will mark the day with a white glove flag presentation and community-led remembrance ceremony.
And in less than 30 minutes, L.A. mayoral candidate Austin Buettner is meeting with Palisades residents to discuss alleged missteps in handling the Palisades fire. Buettner claims that L.A. city leaders tried to cover up errors in the fire department's after action to report. He also says he is blasting Mayor Karen Bass in the response to this disaster, which happened 1 year ago on Wednesday. Buettner plans to outline what he calls steps to improve recovery efforts. That meeting is set for 10 a.m. this morning.
Now, after all that rain, a huge pothole tears up more than a dozen cars in the West Adams area.
Yeah, this is just one of many big post-storm potholes across L.A. that people are dealing with. Let's go to Mario right now. He's live there at the scene to show us what's going on. This is a big one.
Yes, with the recent storms here in Southern California, these potholes can form very quickly, and that's exactly what happened here along La Brea between Jefferson and West Haven. And you can see L.A. Street Services crews are out here. They just finished repairing this pothole, filling it with layers of hot mix asphalt. After days of rain across Southern California, take a look. This section of road gave way, and drivers paid the price. It was around 8 o'clock last night. A large pothole here opened up, and within about 30 minutes, at least 15 vehicles were damaged. LAPD responded quickly, blocking off the street, trying to stop more cars from slamming into it before it could be coned off. Drivers tell us they hit it without warning, heard a pop, and immediately pulled over, some with 2 flat tires.
Going down La Brea southbound, and didn't know I hit a pothole, and it bent to my rim. I think bent my lower control arm. You don't even know the extent of the damage, so I'm just trying to get this bent rim off and, you know, put another tire on, see if I can get her back on the road.
Pulled into the gas station here, got out. I was about to change the front tire, got out the spare and everything, started jacking it up when I saw that the back tire was also off.
Meanwhile, we've been hearing from auto repair shops saying they're seeing a spike in blown tires and bent wheels, all connected to water-damaged roads. Drivers can report a pothole by dialing 311 or using the 311 MyLA app. The city says its goal is to repair potholes within the next business day after they're reported, and this one being fixed within 24 hours. For now, in West Adams, I'm Mario Ramirez. Back to you.
It's good to see them taking care of business over there. All right, Mario, thank you. Now, expect a slow commute on PCH in Malibu this week. Starting this morning, lanes will be reduced from Temescal Canyon Road in Pacific Palisades to Carbon Beach Terrace in Malibu. This will continue through Sunday as crews work to fix the roads. Some areas may be reduced to just 1 lane with speeds down to 25 miles per hour. Drivers should check the Caltrans Quick Map for updates.
A group of local kids working to turn their big dreams into reality.
Coco McAvoy live in Glendora with a youth cheer team raising money to get to nationals. Hi there, Coco.
Hey there, we're talking about a big fundraiser outside of Reformation Refill here in Glendora. This all supports the Glendora Tartans Junior Pee Wee Cheer Squad, and you can see how dedicated they are. I am here with Callan now. She's the cheer coordinator. Tell us about the fundraiser today.
Today we're out here with our Junior Pee Wee Cheer Squad with the Glendora Tartan Youth Football and Cheer. We have our cheer squad ages 4 to 14. We are a nonprofit 501c. We love supporting our community and having these girls out here working so hard, trying to get to more competitions. As we know, cheer is a very expensive sport, and any support helps our girls. I do want to make sure that we know that these girls work hard 7 months out of the year, if not a full year program, with good grades. They are amazing athletes, having to throw girls their own size in the air.
Yes, and I know you've got something special for us, right?
Yes, we do. Girls, let's show them what we got.
Amazing! Look at these stunts. And Callan, you already have donations going, right?
Yes, we have many donations from our local supporters. One of our top supporters we do have here, it's PetSmart Glendora.
Yay! I love the mascot.
We do have support from Toyota of Glendora, Lotus Health and Wellness, Jose Garzola, Fresh Kitchen. Thank you for supporting our Junior Pee Wees.
Yes, thank you so much. And look at PetSmart is here with us as well. I just love the mascot. I love the girls as well. Look how amazing they are in their stunts. You've got to come and support them. They do have a GoFundMe. They're raising funds for cheer competitions. What I think is really special is the fact that they never want to leave any girls behind. So that means if one girl can't go, then none of them go. And that's why it's so important for them to raise this money here in Glendora, but also online as well. So make sure to support them. I'll send it back to you.
Really
Look at the girls.
One of them, right, because everyone plays such an important role, especially in those team formations, right? Imagine if your spotter's not available.
That's a problem.
They all have to go.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, how great.
They're so good. Thank you, Coco.
All right, coming up this year, why not get up off your feet and try a new sport, and learning golf may be the thing to do.
And welcome back to you, meteorologist Maria Quaban. Good news. Drier weather is coming finally after days and days of rain. It's still going to be chilly in the mornings and cool in the afternoons, but we'll see a little bit of sunshine. In fact, today it should be mostly sunny, but there's some leftover instability, 10 to 20% shower chances even into tomorrow. But by this weekend, you're going to love it. Speaking of the rain, we have had more than our share. Do you know that in the average for the season, the entire season from October 1st to September 30th, we would typically get around 14.25 inches of rain. Well, so far since October, we've received over 14 inches already. So our surplus is actually almost 10 inches above seasonal norms. So it's okay if we don't get rain for just a little bit. And we are going to get a chance to dry out over the next several weeks. I think a couple of weeks at least, we are going to stay on the drier side. Stay out of the water too. High surf advisories in effect and beach hazard statements still in effect through this morning because of the high tide combined with some high surf. And of course, all that rain and runoff is not very healthy to be in the water, of course. So I would wait until Wednesday, I think, will be your better day. And that's when we start our warming trend, by the way, along the coast, low 60s today. Downtown LA, not too dissimilar, around 62, but look how we inch closer to around 70 degrees by this weekend with lots more sunshine. As we get to the valleys, Inland Empire, around 63 this afternoon, just a slight 10% chance for some showers. And as we get to the mountains really quickly here, Big Bear around 42 degrees today with temperatures in the low 50s by this weekend. Back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. So maybe you want to take up a new hobby for the new year. And even though golf seems expensive, there are ways to get involved in the sport.
All right, so Brooke now joining us from El Segundo with more. My gosh, you've been doing everything this morning.
Listen, moving all around this morning. Yes, so we learned how to sew, right? We can mend our own clothes now. We learned a little tennis. You know, and now, yeah, we're here with the big daddy sport, right? Yeah, we're talking golf this morning, and we're in this really, really cool place. And it's so interesting because my biggest question was, you know, there are a lot of people who, I feel like this is one of those sports where you say, like, oh, I've always wanted to do that. I wanted to do that. And so we have Devin here, catching you in action a little bit here at Studio Golf. And my biggest question was, is that a thing? Is there an uptick in people who feel like, yes, I'm finally going to take that chance. I'm going to take a lesson?
Yeah, New Year's, new swings. You know,
Yeah,
people are trying to get into the sport. They've told me, hey, I've wanted to do this my whole life, or maybe my dad tried to get me into it when I was younger, but finally, this is the year I'm going to do it. And so we definitely see an uptick. Or people that just like have taken some time off during the holidays, obviously very busy with work and kids, etc. And they're like, all right, I'm going to get back in here. I have my New Year's resolution. I'm ready to go. This is the year I'm going to be my best.
I'm going to get better.
This is my best ever. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, what should you do, though? You need to figure out a way to stick with it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think a lot of it is consistency. I think people try to go, just like with working out, like they try to go all out at the very beginning, maybe it gets a little tough and they just give up. So just say, hey, I'm going to go at least once or twice a week to hit balls, to practice, do something golf related. It could even be getting up and down and practicing short game around the greens. You know, at Studio Golf, one thing that's great, it's very convenient. You can come in here, you can practice, and you can get feedback. And so I think really the most motivating thing is when you actually see that progress. So you've seen some progress. You've been taking some lessons.
Yes. Okay.
It's been good.
Progress, you know.
Final story isn't done yet with that. We're still writing it. Maybe end of this year. But, you know, really having an idea, a clear idea, you know, taking a lesson, whether it's once a year or even weekly from, you know, your local pro and understanding, okay, this is exactly what I want to do so you get the most out of your time. That way you can actually see a huge uptick in your efficiency while at the same time not necessarily spending all of your time at the driving range. And then finally having feedback, you know, having cameras, having ways to figure out if you're doing the stuff that you want to do.
There's so much really cool technology in here. And do I have it right? One free lesson? Or one free, your first, talk to me, how does it work? What's the situation?
Yeah, so at Studio Golf, your very first time here, we call it Member for the Day. You get a full member experience for a full day. So you can come in, you can use the bays, you can work out, use the sonic cold plunge, putt, and feel like you're a member for the day. And, you know, through that experience, some people are going to say, hey, this is something I want to do all the time. Some people are going to be like, thanks for the opportunity. But either way, you really get to experience, you know, kind of that full, almost tour level experience that the PGA Tour players are doing on a regular basis.
Okay, so can we see your swing on the way out?
Yeah, sure. A lot of pressure right here. So one thing that I love about this is that we have cameras from the front, we have cameras from the back. Yeah. I'm going to turn this on. And then in this bay in particular, one thing that's kind of neat is that I can actually change the lie angle of this platform. So, you know, golf obviously isn't on a flat surface. And so, oh, shit, of course. We'll go back to this later. We can actually change the lie angle of the platform. So a lot of times when you're out there on the golf course, especially in California, here in LA, you know, you're gonna
we have to
uphill
send
lies,
things back to the
downhill
studio.
lies.
So we may have to get your swing next segment.
Okay.
Okay,
Sounds
we'll get it next segment. We'll get it next segment. Back to you guys.
Okay, appreciate that. Thank you, Brooke. We'll check in soon. And, you know, sometimes people who are not used to being on live TV, it happens from time to time. We say things.
And those,
and so we
inappropriate words.
Inappropriate.
Especially for sports.
Yeah, so anyway.